Qualcomm Stadium, the Super Bowl site in January. Every win important.
Go! Finish on three. 1, 2, 3.
And Marty Schottenheimer working his team as he has all season long, and with only 4 games left after this one, every team, and it seems as if every team does have Super Bowl hopes alive.
Well, yes, so this is some year, isn't it?
Yeah.
But Marty has to be so proud of his team being down 10-0 deep in their own territory. Somehow we're able to get it going. And when you look at then, once they got it going, they kept it going to the point of domination. The rushing yardage, 137, all belonging to Tomlinson. 270 yards total offense. And Denver over here on the other side with those 6 penalties, aiding the San Diego cause.
And one of those denied them a fumble recovery deep in San Diego territory. So it'll be Denver.
Wade Ritchie's going to get another chance.
After some serious scolding from the headmaster, Schottenheimer. The Broncos get it first, and he skids one down the middle to the 20. Taken by Patrick Haight, a tight end, and he's across the 35-yard line, and we're down to Bonnie Bernstein.
Shocked when I tell you when Marty Schottenheimer walked out of the locker room. He had a big smile on his face. He said a bit frustrated because on that first Clinton Portis touchdown, he said not one of my guys maintained their gaps, but he was so proud of LaDainian Tomlinson, and he talked about his patience. And Tomlinson's actually talked to us about that. He said one of the big differences between last year and this is that I know when I'm going to take the big breaks, and I'm not trying to make a big play every time I go out there and get the football.
Thank you, Bonnie. And Tomlinson not only is rushing, but with his receiving, has more yards today than the entire Denver offense. But that's building on the back of Clinton Portis, who hangs onto the ball, almost lost it, and drives his way into San Diego territory in a first down at the 46-yard line. They call him Sonic, and that is an appropriate nickname, Sonic Portis.
Well, hammering away at the left side, and boy, look at the good block. Ephraim Salam, the left tackle, gets out and takes out the corner support. Herndon, the left guard, pins back to the inside, and Clinton Portis would enjoy a hole like that anytime he could take it. Well done by the Denver offensive line.
18 yards for Portis, 83 in the game on only 8 carries. So he's averaging over 5 a carry on the season. Fake to Portis. The throw to McCaffrey is out of bounds, and Berline goes down as he throws as Seau applied the pressure.
Well, that ball had no chance of being completed because Steve Berline couldn't throw that with any accuracy whatsoever. How many times have we had the pleasure of looking at the ferocity and the focus of Junior Seau? Steve Berline had to put that ball way up into the air with a serious arc underneath it that he didn't intend to, because Junior Seau was right in his face.
You ask him about motivation, and Seau says, fear. I'm afraid of being average. Well, he's been able to maintain such a high level of play through his great career. Screen it to Portis. Gets a block. Speed dive. Move outside, and then he skids down at the 34-yard line with another Bronco first down. And an injured player on the play, Jamal Williams, the defensive tackle of the Chargers, out there trying to fight off a block.
Dick, you talked about Junior Seau. Remember what we said about Ben Lieber? It's very important to him. It's very important to Junior Seau as well.
Life is measured not so much by what you do as by what you do for others. For almost 2 decades, the people of Southwest Airlines have helped make the Ronald McDonald House a home away from home for seriously ill children and their families. Here's to the special spirit that brings us all together, the spirit of hope.
Jamal Williams being taken back to the locker room, and look what happened.
Yeah, here's how it happens. Jamal Williams is going to be on the right. This is Williams right here. This is Steve Herndon, the left guard for Denver, who blatantly clips Williams. Watch this right here. Oh, that's
no penalty.
No penalty, but that is a blatant clip from behind, and boy, that's not well done. That's a cheap play on Herndon's part, rolling right up the back of the legs of Jamal Williams, who's now on his way into the locker room.
That's not only the definition of a clip, it's why it's such a major penalty.
Yeah.
You end a guy's career or a season. But no call, and it's first down at the 34 for the Broncos. Portis, the rookie, quick into the hole and quick to be covered by the Charger defense, led by Donnie Edwards and Marcellus Wiley. Ball at the 30, 2nd and 6. Leonardo Carson, number 96, has replaced Williams. Carson has a couple of sacks this year. He's 6'2" and 305, picking up 20 pounds in the offseason to get some bulk for that interior position.
Wouldn't you love to be told you got to put on 20 pounds?
Oh, yeah.
Man, I wish somebody would tell me that.
Especially this time of the year.
I haven't heard that in a long time, since I was about 8.
2nd and 6. Portis wrapped up again, gets only 3, so it'll bring up 3rd and 3. Edwards and Fisk collaborate on the tackle. Donnie Edwards, we said earlier, what a great season. Leads in tackles, leads in passes defense, has 4
and how many times have we talked about it, Dick? He's never been to a Pro Bowl. Well, if this isn't the year for Donnie Edwards, something's wrong. An interception, run back for a touchdown, a fumble, run back 82 yards for a touchdown. This is a Pro Bowl deserving year for Donnie Edwards.
Charger defense has not allowed a 3rd down conversion. 0 for 4 Denver today. On 3rd and 3, Burline. Underneath to Haight, the tight end, and they have their first conversion. Tackled by Junior Seau and Donnie Edwards, but it's a first down, Denver at the 21.
Well, Donnie Edwards is the guy with Patrick Haight. Let's take a good look at him from behind. He's reading the play. The problem is when all you need is 3 yards for a completion, it's pretty tough to be a linebacker and burst in front of a guy and make a play on a 3-yard pass.
And Edwards, one of his strengths is that unusual speed for a linebacker. Here's Portis, speaking of speed, and he's finally ridden out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Rodney Harrison over to make the tackle. Harrison, who was suspended, as you all well know, for a game for a helmet-to-helmet hit earlier in the year, and folks around San Diego watching his play feel that he's just not really been the same guy since. That he's thinking about, can I really throw my body around?
Well, it's really interesting talking to Rodney Harrison, talking to him about the nuances of the game, and he'll admit that it changes everything when you're unsure whether you're going to make a helmet-to-helmet hit. 2nd and 4. Portis finds a hole. He's inside the 10, and he struggles to the 7-yard line, where it'll be 1st and goal, Denver. I think that it is a real misnomer to just label Clinton Portis as a speed guy, and anybody who does that is making a big mistake. We're seeing a lot of illustrations of Portis running with power, running with elusiveness, and running with a real instinct of where to go with the football. As we look at Dan Neal, who's down on the ground, the Denver right guard. But Clinton Portis is showing me that he's a running back that possesses every aspect of the game.
Neal, who played his college ball at Texas, and his uncle was Larry Cox, a defensive tackle with the Broncos, so it's a second-generation Denver player.
And they're looking at his left knee. You can see the trainer trying to find out where it's sore. Now Dan pointing to the outside. Remember, this is an offensive line year in, year out, one of the best in the league. They've already lost Tom Nalen, their all-pro center. He's out for the year with an ACL injury.
Perhaps we can see what happens on this next shot.
That's Dan Neal right there, number 62. Looked like by that point in time he had his left leg caught underneath somehow, and you can see he was reluctant to put it on the ground, and there's always a good sign. It's kind of like a replay. You start with the ruling on the field. With me, I always like to start with whether a guy's able to walk off and put his foot on the ground. I always look at that as a positive. Now Lenny Friedman in place of Dan Neal. Getting mighty thin on the Denver offensive line.
1st and goal at the 7. First drive of the second half, and it's Portis, and he's hit by Edwards. Edwards filtering his way through. That play aimed right over the guard position occupied by Neal until the injury, and Edwards shot through to make the stop.
Here comes Donnie Edwards knifing through from the backside. You know, that's risky business for a linebacker when you make a decision to run behind the offensive line. The only way you do that is when you've got great speed and you're confident in your decision-making process.
Yeah, they moved Friedman to left guard and Herndon over to Neal's spot at right guard. Second and goal. Berline to Reuben Drones, who rolls into the end zone for a touchdown.
What a catch!
A flag is down.
Oh, it's coming back.
Oh, they are their own worst enemy, the Broncos, in this game, as Mike Shanahan pointed out at halftime in his chat with Bonnie Bernstein. Still not too happy with some of the calls.
Personal foul, chop block, number 26 offense, 15-yard penalty, repeat, second down.
Well, it's Clinton Portis. There he is in the I-back formation. You can't hit someone who's engaged. And he goes in and goes low on the outside rusher. That's Marcellus Wiley, who's engaged by number 78, Matt Lepsis. And that is a classic case of a chop block. You can do that if he's not being occupied by somebody, but Lepsis was working on Wiley.
So it's second and goal. Underneath, the throw is again to Drones. He breaks the tackle and goes in for the touchdown. They're liking this young man more and more every week as he is producing.
Well, you said broken tackle, Dick, and that's exactly what it was. It's not often you see a guy denied a touchdown who comes right back and through his own effort gets it again. There it is. Donnie Edwards and Ben Lieber both in the middle of the field. I take it back. That wasn't Lieber. That was Donnie Edwards.
And
I couldn't make out. Was it Sayal, the other guy? Initially, I thought it was Lieber. It was not.
And Elam missed one against the Colts. And that ended his NFL record string of 371. Just barely hits that one through. And we have a new game in San Diego. So first possession of the second half, and Denver takes it down the field, 65 yards in 10 plays. 22-yard touchdown Berline to Jones. Micah Knorr, the left-footed kicker, to Ronnie Jenkins at the 5. 20, got some daylight, and shoots all the way across the 40-yard line to the 41 before Sam Brandon and Keith Burns can make the tackle.
Let's go back and look at this touchdown again by Reuben Drones. He's going to come right out of the backfield, and here he makes his cut to the inside. And he's going to be confronted right there. You see, here's Donnie Edwards to this side. Here's Junior Seau to that side. And you kind of get the feeling that if they both worked there at the same time, either one of them would have made the tackle. But they kind of knocked each other off, Drones, and he's able to go into the end zone.
Now it's the Chargers' turn from their 40, and Tomlinson gets a call on first down for a couple of yards into the big embrace of Chester McLaughlin. Bonnie?
All right, Dick, got a couple of injury updates for you on the Broncos side. Right guard Dan Neal, twisted left knee, out for now, but questionable on the other side. Chargers defensive tackle Jamal Williams, you saw him go to the locker room with, they're looking at his left ankle. Coming off a good game against Miami, even though he lost. Sack, forced fumble, and 3 tackles, so he's questionable as well.
Okay, thanks to Bonnie. I hope both men will be able to return. As Breeze sets up the screen to Tomlinson, to the 50 and to the 48, and a first down on the second effort. Ian Gold and Chester McLaughlin, the tacklers.
Boy, I love football when we move into December. The hitting is just so noticeable in the way it picks up. The intensity on the field. You can just, this is just different than football that's played in September. There's a different feel to it, and certainly you can tell by how many hard hits there are, how how much it means to these guys. The importance of it is sunk in.
Must win. Both teams talked about it all week long. It's that time of the year. It's the season. First down, 48-yard line. Tomlinson inside the block, but can't elude Chester McLaughlin. Here's a 334-pound man sprinting to the ball carrier with support from Ian Gold.
That is pretty good mobility by Chester. There's no kidding. This is a guy that when he walks through a standard doorway almost has to turn sideways. That's how wide he is. And Chester McLaughlin has been a good football player in this league for a long time.
And how about the shock yesterday as we're talking with him and his cellular goes off and Für Elise, Beethoven's music comes on his phone.
Yeah, and he's also talking about Marty Schottenheimer. He goes, you know, Marty's very dogmatic in the way he approaches things. You know, if he finds something that works, he's coming right back to it.
He played for Marty, said that's a tip for me. A screen again, and Tomlinson trying to stretch for the catch, lost his balance, and Al Wilson was quick to keep him on the ground.
Well, that's that's a break for the Broncos. The Ladanian just falls down. Look how frustrated he is. He can't believe he got his feet tangled up like that. That's where we used to say somebody opened the trap door and stuck a hand up there and tripped him.
8 catches. Yeah. He's got 57 catches on the season, Tomlinson. He really is the complete package.
He's going to earn a spot in the hot tub after this game.
3rd and long. Breeze underneath to the tight end Alexander, struggling but can't get to the sticks. Is about 5 yards short, in fact, as Walker and Poole, 2 defensive backs, make the tackle, and it sends Darren Bennett and the punting team on the field for San Diego. Bennett had one blocked in the first game for a safety for Denver, and Mike Shanahan said he couldn't believe it. There were only 10 men on the field for the Chargers, so it was a clean shot at the block for his guys.
Yeah, the wingman was missing.
Not in this situation. A high kick. Delta O'Neill, fair catch, lets it go.
Oh, and he did it again. He fooled them again. Oh, geez, embarrassing.
So it'll be Denver at the 20. It's tied in San Diego.
Delta O'Neill is the back man right back here as he waves his fair catch. But where he fools San Diego is he's nowhere near the football. And Quentin Jammer and Jerry Wilson both concentrate on O'Neill and not where the ball is. They've got to look for the football.
From the 20, Berline fires, complete to McCaffrey, and a first down. 17 yards on the play. Jammer made the tackle, and ooh, someone in front of that almost picked it off. Berline just cleared the linebacker.
Big Ed McCaffrey, what a target he makes. Working against the zone.
You couldn't see it, but Edwards, with his athletic ability, had leaped high. Appeared that he was going to pick that one off. McCaffrey with 3 catches, 81 yards in the game. Had a stinger. You see him working that shoulder. Berline underneath, complete. Portis. And he takes a short pass into a long gainer into San Diego territory to the 47-yard line before Rodney Harrison can get him down.
Well, good job of Steve Berline looking around and checking on down to find Portis, who just sat down. Nothing spectacular about this except his ability after he gets going. And Rodney Harrison ends up putting him on the ground. But we are looking at 2 fine young running backs today in Clinton Portis and LaDainian Tomlinson. Fun to watch.
Are we ever? He's only 21, Portis. Doesn't get anything here as Edwards shows that linebacker speed again to invade the backfield and drop him for perhaps a yard loss. Well, tonight, folks, CBS presents an unforgettable holiday story for you and your family based on the best-selling book and hit song Rob Lowe stars in the world premiere of The Christmas Shoes tonight on CBS, America's most watched network. Getting you started on the holiday season. A very touching movie tonight on CBS.
It's December the 1st. Can you believe it? No, I can't, Dick. This season has rocketed by.
On 2nd down and 13. Good protection. Berline goes long for Rod Smith. Incomplete. Covered well by Alex Molden. And the ball was out of play anyway.
Well, I don't think you could do it much better than Alex Molden did it right that time covering Rod Smith. He's got him in man coverage all the way. Makes us see how he went back and identified the football. See so many corners you'll see will just run into the receiver because they're not reacting to the football. Alex Molden, the last 10 yards of running side by side, was playing the football. He wasn't playing Rod Smith.
3rd and 13, and the crowd trying to help the Charger defense. Berline flushed, throws in the flat to McCaffrey, and McCaffrey tackled a yard short of the first down by Quentin Jammer. What a great name for a defensive player, Quentin Jammer. The 5th player selected in the draft this last year.
It's appropriate, isn't it?
Well, they figure he's going to be a Pro Bowler several times before his career is open, and that tackle short of the first down brings out Mike Honore. Tim Dwight drifts back to the 10.
Well, it's a real game of field position when you elect a punt from the 38-yard line.
High wobbler. Dwight lets it go, and the Broncos are unable to down it inside the 5, so turnabout is fair play. San Diego from the 20 when we return to Qualcomm. Beautiful scene from our Saturn Lightship blimp. Keep your eye on the sky when the Saturn Lightship visits a major sporting event near you, looking down at 66,357. Some in more spirited colors than others. Or the old AFL powder blue, their last home game, or 2 home games ago, and the Jets pounded them. We may not see those again as Tomlinson battles his way for 6 on first down. Delta O'Neill made the defensive play. Okay, now who's the leading candidate for the 2002 NFL Rookie of the Year? And certainly making a case for that is the number 26 for the Broncos, Clinton Portis. How about David Carr of the Texans, Joey Harrington of the Lions, great defensive lineman Julius Peppers at Carolina, or the Giants tight end Jeremy Shockey, or you may vote for someone else. Cast it at NFL.com. Portis, with his over 100 today, is closing in on 1,000 in the first 12 games. Tomlinson, one of the few times since the opening quarter that he's been stuffed. You run at that defensive right side, and you're going to meet Chester and Lionel Dalton.
Yeah, and kudos to Al Wilson as well, who really knifed in there and got in around his feet.
So 72, almost 73 yards allowed rushing on the season per game, by far the best in the NFL. And that's been doubled by the Charger attack today, and all 148 yards belong to LaDainian Tomlinson. Pretty good balance run and pass. 3rd and 1. Tomlinson hit.
Did you hear that?
Forward for the first down anyway.
Wow, that was some hit. But at 221 pounds, LaDainian Tomlinson in short yardage says, let's go. There comes Finotti, but it's Kanoy Kennedy. And that is a big boy collision right there. That's we used to call that steel on steel. That was just 2 tough guys meeting right in the hole.
Tomlinson, you can see that little shrug of the shoulder pads as if to say, now I'm ready.
That got the blood flowing.
Fake toss, and then the throw incomplete to the tight end Justin Peel. He's a rookie from Oregon, has caught only a couple of passes all season. Thursday, Survivor, 3 episodes left. These castaways about to encounter something incredible, astonishing, and leave them speechless. And me too.
Okay.
Don't miss an all-new Survivor Thursday at 8, 7 Central on CBS, America's most watched network. Well, Breeze now, 2nd and 10 at the 32. Shadows now covering the turf at Qualcomm Stadium. Tied at 24. And struggling is LaDainian Tomlinson and Monsanto Pope, the 7th round draft pick out of Virginia, to make a tackle. And he, with each game, giving Mike Shanahan some good plays.
3rd and 11 from the 31.
6'3" and 300 is Pope, an all-state basketball player in Virginia in high school.
Was he a chemical major in college?
I knew you were. I could feel just the heat from your brain.
I bet he knows the periodic table, doesn't he?
It's all about chemistry. That's what you call a team effort. On 3rd down. Oh. And it's intended for Tomlinson, as that ball flopping around, as Bertrand Berry invading the offensive territory, along with Tyrone Poole. One of the few times that Shanahan has, or Ray Rhodes, has brought some extra pressure.
Invading the offensive territory.
I just thought that just came out.
Well, it's exact. I can't argue with it. That's exactly what they did.
It happens.
What an invasion.
Beautiful kick by Bennett, sky high. Deltha O'Neill at the 25. And he's wrapped up after a return of 5 yards as the 3rd quarter comes to an end here in San Diego with the Denver Broncos, San Diego Chargers, each team with a 7-4 record, each of them with 24 points. A quarter to go. We'll return to Qualcomm after this word from your local station. With Andy Dorff and Bonnie Bernstein, Dick Enberg, welcome back to San Diego, and a site that had the Charger fans holding their breath. LaDainian Tomlinson working on his right knee as the 4th quarter opens with an interception on the deflection. It's Alex Molden, and the Chargers have it at the Denver 30-yard line.
Looked like it bounced off the hands of Rod Smith. Rod Smith, who caught a pair of passes in the 1st quarter, hasn't a reception since. And the ball thrown way behind Rod Smith. You can't blame that on Rod Smith. This football thrown well behind him by Steve Berline. And Rod Smith just barely got a fingertip on it, but Berline delivers this. Was that ball hit at the line of scrimmage?
It looked as if it changed direction, didn't it?
Ooh, when that replay that we looked at right there, I'm not sure, but it did look like the ball changed its course a little bit.
2nd interception of the year for Molden. Breeze trying to take advantage out of the backfield of McCrary, the fullback, a gain of 5 to the 25.
Let's look at that replay one more time, everybody. Let's track this football. No, it doesn't look like it from that angle like it was. It was awfully close to one of the defensive linemen, but way behind Rod Smith.
The other part was Donnie Edwards, who had that inside almost taken away, and I think Berline had to cheat in the backside of Smith. It was Edwards' coverage that helped the pass be a little in back of Smith and led to the interception. So San Diego +2 in the game turnovers. San Diego Charger, yeah, the assistants were trying to call timeout and finally got the attention of Breeze, and that's what we have. First timeout of the 2nd half.
Ignore them, they're chicken people.
Dublin, Ohio is a town divided between Wendy's Chicken Bacon Swiss.
Frank, a cheeseburger? Oh, what are you thinking?
And Wendy's Bacon Swiss Cheeseburger.
I don't see why you can't like both.
What are you eating there, Jimmy? Nothing. Each have hickory smoke.
San Diego and Denver knotted at 24. LaDainian Tomlinson still nursing a right knee injury, but you had to see the scene. He was on the bench getting the knee checked out when he heard the roar with Molden's interception, hopped off the bench, hopped over the bench, and got right back into the game.
And there he is, their tailback, takes the handoff from Breeze, and on 2nd and 5 picks up a couple. Ian Gold and others in on the tackle. Gold fastest on the entire defense at linebacker. He told us that the numbers you see in the program aren't correct. He's only 210 pounds at linebacker.
Well, I remember Mike Shanahan telling us about his son who's actually working out with the Broncos during their offseason program. He came home one time and he said, Dad, I got to tell you something. I don't know how fast Ian Gold is, but he's faster than everybody else on the team. You don't normally expect that out of a linebacker, but that's the kind of speed that Ian Gold has.
He got a scout team fullback and run right over people and by him. On 3rd and 3, Breeze lost it to Alexander, incomplete. Just touched by John Mobley, who had coverage in front. Kennedy, the safety, from the backside, and that very nearly a big gainer for San Diego, but brings up 4th down.
Boy, a good throw by Drew Brees. He drops it right in where he has to do it, but you see it, John Mobley timing it perfectly. He knew he had Kennedy deep. His job is to protect the underneath, and he did it to perfection.
Steve Christie for the lead from 40 yards. He's 2 for 5 from 40 and beyond. This one is good. Boy, it had a funny rotation. He knuckleballed that.
I was going to say, what rotation?
The Chargers take the lead. Steve Christie's field goal gives the Chargers a 27-24 lead. Here's Wade Ritchie to kick off again. Scotty Montgomery and Reuben Drones. Christie, rather, is the man kicking off. Not Ritchie, and it's bobbled by Drones. Now Montgomery picks it up, and he's tripped up across the 20-yard line. What happened on the field goal in that knuckleball by Christie?
Well, we watched it. Watch it as it's initially kicked by Christie. It is end over end. You see it right there, and then stop it right there. Right there is the hand of Trevor Price, and I believe he touches that ball. It just grazes it with his fingers. You can see all the rotation taken off of that football, but it has enough power from Christie to go on through the uprights. But I think Trevor Price got a fingertip on that thing.
He's wondering, how in the world can I get my hand on it? And he still goes 40 yards and 3 points and the lead.
Life's not fair.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by New Campbell's Chunky Roasted Favorites, hearty soups that fill you up right. Budweiser, delivering beer at its best with a crisp, clean, and refreshing taste known only to the king of beers. And by the all-new Accord from Honda. It's more Accord than ever.
Back in San Diego where the Chargers lead by 3. Plenty of time left, and Scotty Montgomery, who returned that last kickoff, is the injured Bronco.
He's going to get tackled. Coming in from the right will be Rogers, Beckett, and we're going to, there's Beckett, number 42.
And
he kind of gets his right heel caught on the ground a lot of times, and then his head gets spun around at a different angle. At first you want to look at his leg, and then his head got spun at a different angle. The way these guys are down, the training staff, they've got him immobilized. You're thinking here that it's got something to do with his upper body. Let's see if we can look at his head and his neck here. Oh yeah, he gets his head driven actually right into the field.
Hate to say it, but it reminds you a little bit of Tommy Maddox a few weeks ago, the Steelers, the hit that he took, and thankfully able to play already. And while they attend to Scotty Montgomery, let's bring you up to date on what's happening in the NFL to New York and Jim Nantz.
All right, thank you, Dick. In Indianapolis, the Colts are on the board. James Mungro from a yard out. The story here, the Colts defense has held the Texans to only 120 yards and 7 first downs. It's 19-0. They went for 2 and failed, but the Colts smooth sailing today halfway through the fourth quarter, up 19-0. Let's go back to Dick and Dan.
Here again, we take a look at Scotty Montgomery. Looks like they have an electric screwdriver. They're trying to take his face mask off. Yes, they're trying to unloosen his face mask. You can see they've gotten the screws out on the upper portion of it, and there they go trying to take it off there. We will come back here to San Diego. Chargers up by 3.
The same blood runs through our veins.
He can feel what you feel.
He seems to have the ability to reach into my thoughts.
He can see what you see.
Back in San Diego here in the 4th quarter, and Scotty Montgomery receiving attention. And you know, Dan, the positive of this situation, and it's, you know, it's sends a pall over the entire arena, is the fact that the impeccable care being taken by the training and medical staffs, that today they're on the scene, they don't take any chances, and often it does look worse than it really is. It's just they're taking every precaution that if there is an injury, it is not encouraged by any false movement or care.
Well, you try to remain optimistic in a situation like this. He really got caught in a sandwich and hit from both sides. One of them, a direct hit right on his helmet. That you wonder what role that played in the injury to Scotty Montgomery, and players from both sides. This is a situation where the color of the jersey you're wearing is pretty irrelevant. Let's go look at it one last time. Watch from the left. There's C gets hit. Jerry Wilson, number 20. The collision with the helmet of Scotty Montgomery. And then awkwardly how his neck is kind of in an unusual position with 3 guys lying on top of him there. And you just have to.
You look for some movement of the hands, and
you look for anything, Dick. You're right. But there's a movement of the hand.
That's good to see.
A football player spends so much time conditioning the muscles of his shoulder, his neck area, the deltoids, the trapezius muscles, and everything. And that's why, because you don't need me to tell you that there's a tremendous amount of stress and strain placed on a player's neck during the course of the game.
You see how they're steadying the head and neck area to make sure there is no natural movement. You think of how carefully and well done all of that was, and in fact, goodness, I can remember in my time where an injury like this, you know, the first thing I want to do is go out and lift you up.
Right. Yeah.
Get on your feet. Let's go.
And there's Montgomery getting his hand up, and and that you have to feel was intended for his loved ones somewhere, saying, I'm hurt, but I'm going to be okay.
So move both the right and the left hands before leaving the field. Well, we'll give you a report and update as soon as we get an official word. So it's Denver's ball. 13 minutes to go. First down. Berline had to throw that one away. Portis was in the area, so no flag comes down. It was Jason Fisk, the veteran from Stanford, applying pressure.
Well, this was a screen pass set up to the other side, and for some reason Berline didn't throw it initially. San Diego had coverage going on that side, and once again, that's I think that's a play that another referee, if he felt like it, could have called intentional grounding. You're inside that tackle area. You're in the pocket.
Portis squirts through a hole, stays on his feet, dives forward for a first down out to the 34-yard line. Rodney Harrison down low to trip him up. And there's a lot of real estate ahead of Portis had he been able to keep his balance.
Well, that's a scary thing about playing defense against a back like Clinton Portis, is that you know that you're just one mistake away from him being able to take it all the way to the end zone. One missed tackle, one incorrect gap assignment or something like that. This is a guy that can make something huge out of something small.
Had a 43-yard touchdown run in the first quarter. Out to the 43-yard line, and good yardage on first down. Bonnie, what do you know?
Well, Dick, of course, you know, until Scotty Montgomery goes through the whole battery of tests, we're not going to know anything specific. But right now, the trainers, the doctors don't see anything broken. They're taking him to the hospital just as a precautionary measure because he's experiencing a lot of pain in his neck. Of course, if we hear any updates, we'll get it right to you.
In some ways, experiencing pain is a good thing.
Yes.
Means that those nerves are working. Second down, a long 2. Harrison comes in on the blitz, picked up. The throw underneath, intercepted. Donnie Edwards has another, his 5th of the year. What a defensive star he has been.
Well, that time, he was the beneficiary of being in the right place at the right time. As this ball gets popped up into the air and comes right to Donnie Edwards. Patrick Hape is the tight end to that side, number 86. There goes the ball. Donnie Edwards actually had his hands in there and knocked it up in the air. How is that for a play by Donnie Edwards? He gets in front. The ball gets knocked up into the air. A combination of Edwards and somebody else. And boy, that's just having a guy make a big-time play on Steve Berline. That's an all-pro kind of play by Donnie Edwards.
So 5 interceptions, and he created the action there, and that speed to the ball got him there in time to bat it away from Patrick Hape, the tight end. So first down at the 30. This is where the Chargers had the ball after Molden's interception that led to the field goal. Breeze throws underneath, and Tomlinson wrapped up for a loss. Al Wilson made the play, and Dalton was the man who forced Breeze back on the screen and helped set up the loss.
Well, that play fooled me, but it didn't fool Denver. We're looking at Donnie Edwards and some of the things he's done against the Cardinals.
That was a touchdown earlier in the year.
This guy is all over the place. And there it is again against the Raiders. Away he goes.
And secured the win in overtime.
And then against the Rams, he had a 82-yard fumble return.
And second and long, the throw to the sideline is complete to the tight end, Josh Norman. And Norman with good yardage inside the 25. Walker and Wilson made the tackle. It'll be 3rd down and 3. With 60 minutes coming up, those of you watching here in the West, a reminder to stay. You'll see that outstanding Sunday night special at its regular time, 7 o'clock. Some of you back in the East and Midwest, as soon as this game is complete, you'll see 60 minutes in its entirety. The Denver Broncos and San Diego Chargers tied with the Oakland Raiders at 7-4 atop the AFC West, toughest division in the NFL. And here we are in the 4th quarter with 10 minutes to go. Chargers with an interception, trying to add to a 3-point lead. Tomlinson on 3rd down, tackled right at the sticks at the 20. It'll depend on the spot.
What a hit by Al Wilson. I thought that was a first down easily for LaDainian Tomlinson until Al Wilson knifed in and dropped it. LaDainian Tomlinson's going to bounce it outside right here. And there comes Al Wilson. And boy, he took him high and put him right down. And if Al had a vote, I think we'd know it'd be 4th down.
The ball is tickling the 20-yard line. Looked as if Tomlinson actually, as he was tackled, had the ball farther than that one. Was not a generous spot at all for the Chargers. So 4th and a couple of links.
Critical call here for Marty Schottenheimer. Your field goal kicking has been a little iffy.
Would be a 37-yarder, although 40-yarder by Christie today, as well as a 20-yard field goal.
Marty's old school. Old school is if you can't pick up 6 inches, you don't deserve to win a game.
4 for 6 on 4th down on this season at the 20-yard line. Could be a game-deciding decision. McCrary and Tomlinson. Breeze with a sneak.
He was there for a moment, and then he was repelled
Let's see where the spot is.
This is all about the spot.
They've got to hit the blue line there of the 20. That's where the yardstick was placed. If you see grass between
well, I can tell you right now where that official bent down isn't enough for the first down. No.
Al Wilson again. What a series for Wilson. We've talked about Donnie Edwards and his impact for the Chargers. Wilson has been a terror in this game. You talk about a run stopper. That's what he has been.
Well, the first thing you defend in a 6-inch play is the quarterback sneak. He just Drew Brees, not a real big quarterback at 6 feet tall. Denver wins that one.
Fourth quarter here in San Diego, 9:36 left. Here's the fourth down sneak by Brees.
From that angle, initially it looked like Drew Brees got enough forward progress to have picked up the first down, but he's kind of hidden in there.
I thought Tomlinson made it on third down. But the Broncos with a tremendous stand, and now Berline is ripped down by the rookie Ben Lieber. Boy, did he get in the backfield in a hurry. Lieber's 5th sack of the season.
That's a lot of production for a rookie linebacker. He's left completely untouched. He lined up on tight end Patrick Hape, and when Hape releases for a pattern, in comes Lieber. See, there goes Hape, and Lieber comes in all alone.
Well, Berline, how did he keep the ball? That looked like it had fumble written all over it. So from the 12-yard line, it's second and long. Landis Gary in the backfield. Berline has to dump it out to Gary, and he's surrounded by Chargers who make the tackle at the 14. Vernon Fox, an extra defensive back, along with Molden with a stop. Again, a reminder tonight on CBS, 60 Minutes. Great as always, the Title IX, and then you've got Becker, King of Queens, and then a family movie for all of you, The Christmas Shoes, all here tonight on CBS. Third down and long. 1 for 6.
Berline takes a timeout there.
First timeout spent by Denver. San Diego had to use one in the third quarter. Well, the home stretch of the regular season of the NFL and the opening of another college basketball year next Saturday at 3:30 Eastern Time. The Wolverines and the Duke Blue Devils, or you'll see Kansas and Oregon. Oregon, for those of you watching out here in the West, you fans know that this is one of the top teams in the nation. Luke Rittenauer and company. That's next Saturday on CBS Sports, and of course Saturday also. Big day, not only basketball, but the Army-Navy Classic. Brian Greasy comes in. Greasy, I'm sorry, I thought you got word here. Greasy from the sidelines, watching Berline go back in. Greasy with an injured knee 2 weeks ago against Seattle. Could not play last week. Did practice this week.
Talking to Shannon Sharp right next to him.
Both are expected to start next week, according to our conversation with Shanahan yesterday. 3rd and 17. Berline caught from behind, throws down the middle, and it's caught right at the 30-yard line. And this is about where they took over on downs. As Carswell, the tight end. Let's see where this spot is.
This is
look at this. Unbelievable, almost in the same spot. And they'll have to measure. And Berline, being shirt-tailed, pulled back one way as he threw forward.
Well, we've seen this a couple times today where Steve Berline has made a pass and completed a pass while being tugged on from behind. That time it was down around the ankles. Scott DeQuincy was the guy nipping at his heels. Good concentration by Berline, staying alive.
And the measurement is short. So 4th and less than a yard, and Shanahan sends out the punting team.
Am I turning his name back? I've been saying Scott. It's DeQuincy Scott. Oh, I'm just a mess today.
But forgiven.
Oh, thank you very much.
DeQuincy Scott from Southern Mississippi, one of the new members of this Charger team.
My initial reaction was I thought Denver had picked up the first down. I thought he was across the 30-yard line.
That's become a very important stripe in this fourth quarter, that 30, as Knorr kicks it to Tim Dwight. He's got room to run it back from the 27. 30, gets out to 40, 45, and tackled at the 50, and the fans love it in San Diego. John Mobley, a starter on defense, used on special team, makes the tackle.
Well, as he has done all of his NFL career, Tim Dwight, so explosive on returns, such an innate feel as to where to go, and of course he's got blazing speed. It's such an instinctive thing when you're returning punts. I don't know that any punt returner can explain why I went left, why I went right. I just felt it. But I'll tell you one thing, if Tim Dwight ever gets in the open field, not many people are going to catch him either.
His longest punt return of the year, 23 yards from the 50. Breeze screens it to Tomlinson, and they've used that play a lot, and Al Wilson knows it as well as the Chargers he's tackling.
Al Wilson with the tackle.
10th catch for Tomlinson as we remind you the final showdown for conference supremacy. Matt Jones and the Razorbacks tangle with David Green and the Bulldogs in the SEC Championship game presented by Dr. Pepper. That's Saturday at a special time right here on CBS. For more, go to CBSSportsline.com. America Online, keyword CBS Sportsline. A loss of a couple on the play, second and a dozen. Tomlinson has a hole and then tripped up at the 45 of the Broncos just as he reached full speed. Ian Gold and Kanoe Kennedy with the stop.
Well, the Chargers enjoying outstanding field position here in the fourth quarter, but they're finding out that this defense of the Denver Broncos is you know, I guess that reputation is well earned. They are not giving up anything without a fight.
Tomlinson, you talk about a workhorse. That's more than a cliche today. 163 yards. He's carried the ball on every Charger running play, plus nearly 10 catches. 3rd and 5 for Breeze. Fires to this side, complete. First down to Norman, the tight end. Josh Norman, who had only 9 catches all year, was injured, missed a couple of games, has had a couple of big receptions here in the fourth quarter, and he keeps the drive alive.
Well, Denver comes with a blitz up the middle, and Norman does a good job of breaking off his route and being given that cushion by Denard Walker, able to sit down and make the catch. Good adjustment by everybody on San Diego to the Denver blitz.
Needed 5. Norman got them 6. He's a free agent out of Oklahoma. Remember, the Chargers playing this entire game with only 3 wide receivers. Curtis Conway did not suit up. From the 39. Breeze wanted to go long, has to go short to Tomlinson. Not a bad idea. And Tomlinson gets about 9 to the 30 before Gold can get him out of bounds.
Now, one of the reasons that Marty Schottenheimer and Cam Cameron really like Drew Brees, his decision-making process. Take a look at the coverage here by the Denver Broncos. All the way Brees is growing deep. He's going deep, but take a look at all the tie-ups downfield, and you know what he's going to do? He's going to check down to maybe the 3rd guy in Tomlinson and make the completion. To do that, 1, you need a brain. 2, you need good pass protection, and that time the Chargers had both.
And he does have a brain. He was the academic All-America Player of the Year out of Purdue as a senior. Tomlinson, another carry, and he loses a couple, but he nevertheless is over 200 total yards in the game, 212 to the moment, with 11 catches plus 161 on the ground. Well, let's take a look again at the start today. Denver, San Diego, Oakland. Oakland plays the Jets at home tomorrow night. All tied for the lead. Kansas City won impressively, 49-0 today. And each game, of course, the first tiebreaker is head-to-head. Denver already has 1 win against San Diego. San Diego already has 1 win against Oakland.
And San Diego has lost 3 of their last 4. Denver has lost 2 of their last 3. So one of these teams is going to leave here today reeling. One of them is going to leave here thinking that they've righted the ship.
And Oakland at San Diego here next Sunday. Big AFC game here on CBS. Now, Tomlinson, he said he learned from his idol Emmitt Smith. Not a bad idea to have that massage, spend a little time in the pool, take care of the body after the game. Just don't think because you're young that you're going to be okay the next Sunday. The wear and tear, and he's going to need every nimble finger of a great masseur after this one. 3rd down and 2. Breeze on the roll. Pittman chasing him, throws to the sidelines and throws it out of play. Well, they're, based on what has happened in the game thus far, out of field goal range. And out comes Darren Bennett.
But I don't know how
Christie is out there.
I don't know how Marty Schottenheimer and Cam Cameron, the offensive coordinator, resist the urge to just give it to Tomlinson every down. You know, their yard, 3rd and 3. I'd be so tempted to just hammer him up in there one more time. If you don't get it, hammer him up there again.
Then it did come out because he's the holder. This is a 50-yard attempt by Christie. Would be by far his longest of the year. It is long enough, but it is no good. He had plenty of distance, but missed wide.
And now Denver will get good field position because of the missed field goal. That's the risk of a long field goal if it's no good. This ball just hooked a little bit.
Remember, he missed one from 42. Sure looked good from their angle.
Yeah. The youngster says yes. You look at Junior Seau. He's been around long enough. He knew that wasn't any good.
So from the 40, the Broncos with 5 minutes left, trailing by 3. Portis gets a hold, 50, and skips down to the 45-yard line before Keith Lyle, the safety, can make the tackle. And these 2 young runners have really showcased some terrific stuff today.
Well, they're getting help from your teammates to go like that. The Denver offensive line. Look at the hole. Look at the lead block by Mike Anderson. And then downfield, Ed McCaffrey. He does a good job of sealing Alex Molden to the outside. So this is if you're going to play offense for Mike Shanahan, you're going to block. I don't care what position you play. You better learn to block.
Portis now with 136 yards and 2 touchdowns. This is Mike Anderson, the fullback, and he's rolled down at the 41-yard line by Junior Seau. There's Portis getting things started with a 43-yard romp for a touchdown, and then Tomlinson scored 3 times in the second quarter. 76-yard run being not a touchdown, but the longest run of this NFL season. Portis with his rebuttal. 3 touchdowns rushing Tomlinson, 2 for Portis, who now needs only 28 yards for 1,000 in his rookie year in Denver. Fake to Portis. Burline throwing long for McCaffrey. Too long. McCaffrey and Molden in a hand-checking battle going downfield.
Ed McCaffrey signaling to the Denver sideline, I need to come out of the game. I don't know if that's running out of air or landed awkwardly or whatever.
The last 4 games really been bothered by that neck injury, and they took some shots this week and able to play, but not full time. 3rd down at the 41, 6 yards to go for a first down. And again, the Broncos have been stuffed by the Chargers on 3rd down today, making only 1 of 7. Burline underneath. Incomplete. Intended for Herb Haygood. Donnie Edwards again there on the coverage.
What range Edwards has, and his ability to cover so much territory. Working on the inside, Donnie Edwards gives a shot right off the bat. Boy, that is just, the ball was there.
What's happened to Ashley Lollie? We haven't seen him all day.
And Rod Smith hasn't caught a pass since very early in the first quarter.
Broncos go for it. 3:37 left. Could be a play to remember. Throw is complete to McCaffrey in a crowd, and a first down at the 26. And there are several thousand Bronco fans that are on their feet across the way.
That's the exact route, only from this side of the field, that they ran against Indianapolis late in the game, and it was an incompleted pass. That quick slant to Ed McCaffrey. This time, they go right back to it to the other side, and what a huge play for Denver.
Yep.
But that was the exact same route that gave Indianapolis a good field position and enough time to come up with a win.
First down at the 26. Portis, only a yard. Leonardo Carson and Donnie Edwards along with Wiley on the tackle. Well, Monday, what a great night on CBS, and there's the lineup. King of Queens and Yesteryear. Everybody does love Raymond, still standing. CSI Miami, the new hit series. And then, of course, David Letterman in the Late Show after your local news. Monday nights on CBS. Second down and 9. And it has been loud here today. Portis trying to get outside. Does. Down the sidelines and a first down at the 12-yard line. And the kid moves ever closer to 1,000 yards in his initial season in the big time.
Again, wonderful blocking at the point of attack. Look how they get around the corner. This time Ruben drones out in front as a lead blocker. But the threat of Clinton Portis running both inside and outside makes his outside running more effective. He's just not a corner edge kind of player. He'll run for power between the tackles. That makes his getting outside all the easier.
They give it back to the rookie from Miami, and he's stopped right at the line of scrimmage by veteran Jason Fisk as the clock ticks down to the 2-minute warning. Each team has 2 timeouts. San Diego leading by a tenuous 3. Late afternoon in San Diego on this 1st of December. It's a beautiful day, and this has been a beautiful game.
Oh, and the timing of the 2-minute warning. One, it allows San Diego defensively to catch their breath, but it also gives 2 offensive masterminds in Mike Shanahan and Gary Kubiak 2 full minutes to come up with a play here.
And Denver has not 2 timeouts, but 1 timeout. San Diego has 2. First down at the 12-yard line. Check that second down and 10 as Berline looks to the end zone, throws low, complete to the tight end Carswell. Short gain to the 7 of about 5. It'll bring up 3rd and 5, and Marty Schottenheimer wants to spend a timeout. This game extraordinarily long. It's already nearly 4:30 in the West, and want to remind you in the East that you'll get to see your full complement of terrific television on CBS tonight. 60 Minutes, Becker, King of Queens, and a special Sunday movie, The Christmas Shoes, with Rob Lowe. Those of you watching in the West will see the full lineup at the usual time, beginning at 7 o'clock.
Well, smart move by Marty Schottenheimer, calling a timeout right there. Regardless of what happens, trying to buy some time for his team to use when they do get the football. Now keep in mind that Denver can get a first down without getting into the end zone. If they get to the 2-yard line beyond, they'll pick up a first down.
3rd down.
How tense is this, huh, Dick?
3rd and 5. This has got the playoff drama. Some great theater in San Diego. 3rd and 5. Of course, the Broncos in short field goal range to tie. But there aren't many opportunities like this late in the game to score and get a lead.
No, they're not thinking tie.
3rd and 5. End zone fans of the Chargers will make as much noise as they can as Portis, the lone running back. 3 wide receivers. Portis now empties the backfield. Berline. Incomplete. And the defensive play made by Alex Molden on Rod Smith.
Strange pattern. Because even if that would have been a completed pass, it wouldn't have been enough for the first down.
And they flirted with Molden.
Yeah.
Intercepting here.
Rod Smith comes back for the ball, but he's clear back at the 4-yard line by the time he comes back for the football. There's contact by Alex Molden, but the closer you get to the goal line, the more of that they'll allow.
25-yard field goal attempt to tie, and it is good. So we're even with 1 minute 39 seconds left, 27 all, and each team with one timeout heading to possible overtime.
And because of that third down play by Denver being a passing play, Marty Schottenheimer didn't have to use his final timeout to stop the clock one more time. Good hold, spin those laces away. Never a doubt right down the middle, but with a minute 39 and one timeout, San Diego has time to move the football.
Well, let's take a deep breath here in San Diego. Go to New York.
All right, Dick and Dan, and the St. Louis Rams are all but out of it now. They lose for the 7th time this year. The only touchdown of the game, Bobby Taylor returning the Kurt Warner pass for a touchdown. Warner still winless in the games he's competed in this season. Eagles win it. Let's go back to San Diego.
Now that is just amazing. Mark Bulger, Jim, is 5-0, and Kurt Warner, the great player, is 0-7. How can that happen?
Believe me, there are a lot of people in St. Louis scratching their heads going, how is that possible?
And of course, they lost to an Eagle team, losing their quarterbacks, first and second string, and still winning against San Francisco and St. Louis. Andy Reid's team is really good.
Well, is Andy Reid one of the truly outstanding coaches in this game? I think even if you live in a cave, you have to realize that by now.
Nor to kick it off. Jenkins at the goal line for San Diego. Comes up to the 4. Every play is a big one now, and Jenkins trying to make one. But the special teams for Denver, led by Izell Reese, the starting safety, making the tackle at the 24. 1:33 left.
Well, that last scoring drive by Denver, remember, they were aided greatly by having to start at the 40-yard line after the missed field goal. That's the risk when you attempt a long field goal like that. If you miss it, the change in field position is pretty dramatic.
And they needed to make a 4th and 6 on the drive. The pass to Ed McCaffrey was in a crowd of 3 different Chargers, were able to latch onto it and pick up the yardage. So tied at 27. Breeze fires, complete. Beautiful throw to Eric Parker. And the young free agent from Tennessee chipping in with his 3rd catch of the game.
Very deliberate, good look by Drew Brees. And I remember talking to him and asking him, how would you assess your play so far this year? And Dick, remember he said, I'm proud of the way I've played in close games. I don't think that I've let my team down when we've been in pressure situations. Well, how's this for a pressure situation?
And that was his reputation out of Purdue and even in high school back in Austin, Texas. They won in overtime against San Francisco, led by Breeze. He throws down the middle. Oh, just off the fingertips of Tim Dwight, who was sprinting deep in the middle.
That ball just a little low. Tim Dwight did the best he could do going down trying to dig it out.
Smile at Tim Dwight. Is he a free spirit?
Yeah. If that ball had just a little more air underneath it, that would have been a completion. Dwight was open.
2nd and 10 at the 37. Incomplete pass. Stops the clock at 1:24. Again, shotgun Breeze with only one companion this time. And it's Tomlinson who sneaks into the pattern. The throw is long, but too long to Alexander, the tight end. Now they tried to go for it all on that throw.
Well, he had to get rid of it in a hurry. Ray Rhodes, defensive coordinator, came with a corner blitz off the top.
3rd and 10.
You know you're going to get a different look. Whatever the Broncos line up, that is not, however they line up, that is not what you're going to get.
Mike Shanahan, the offensive wizard, you can see those eyes. He's already thinking ahead. If he gets the ball here with Let's say there is another incomplete pass. He's going to have time. Two men who admire each other tremendously. Schottenheimer on this sideline, Shanahan on the other. 3rd and 10. Breeze pumps and throws long. It is incomplete to Parker with Denard Walker on the coverage. Interesting call.
And last time there was an example of what Ray Rhodes will do. A 2-man rush. 9 guys back in coverage. They got 7 guys on the line of scrimmage, and only 2 of them rush. You think that might confuse a quarterback? 7 guys up on the ball, and 5 of them drop back into coverage.
So with a minute 13 left, Aaron Bennett to punt. Delta O'Neal at the 15. High kick, but very short. O'Neal says stay away from it. Almost hit a Bronco at the 35 before going out of bounds, and a flag has been thrown.
From way back in the secondary.
Might have been trying to hold up the Gunners heading downfield. .104 left. Clock so important on both sides. Denver did not have to use their 1 remaining timeout. And an exhausting game.
During the flight of the kick, holding receiving teams. By rule, this penalty be assessed 10 yards from the end of the kick. First down.
Well, Mike Shanahan has to digest another call as they mark it from where the ball went out of bounds, 10 yards down to the 22-yard line, it would appear. Listen, you know, Marty Schottenheimer has the reputation of being a very conservative coach, and he runs it by the book. But that last series, he went for 2 long passes, and the one to Dwight could have given the Chargers a first down at midfield. Now let's see what Shanahan's thinking is.
Well, he's thinking right off the bat, I don't want Beuerlein to take any chances with this football. The worst thing that can happen to us is to go into overtime.
The quick throw and the catch by Ashley Lally, the rookie from Hawaii, has his initial reception of the game. Jerry Wilson just picked up by the Chargers, the defensive back, number 20 on the coverage. Clock running.
But only for a couple of yards that San Diego will gladly give up.
Throw underneath to McCaffrey, who is drilled right at the 30. Not enough for the first down. Yes, indeed. Just a reverse of what you'd expect. It is Shanahan playing it very conservatively, where Schottenheimer took a couple of shots.
If you're only going to go for 4 or 5 yards, why not give the ball to Portis and see if he can do something with it?
With that defense so well spread, he might just take off.
What's the use of running 2 and 3 yard patterns?
Looks as if Shanahan's playing for overtime.
It's OT now.
Down to 10. This possibly the last play of regulation.
Well, he'll take a shot here. This should go for a long ways.
But he is hit just as he throws, and it comes back to the 45, incomplete, with Clinton Portis downfield trying to make the catch, and overtime we go.
Once again from behind to Quincy Scott. He has been all around the quarterback today.
Done a solid job, and of course, those of you just joining us, Jamal Williams, a defensive tackle injured, has not returned. There are the rules. Coin toss decides possession. Somewhat controversial this year. 3rd overtime for each of the 2 teams. They both have some experience this year. Chargers are 2-0 and Denver 1-1. 1 15-minute period. First team to score in any way, safety, field goal, or touchdown, wins it.
How appropriate that in a division where 3 teams were 7-4 coming into today, 2 of the 7-4 teams play one another, and it has to go into overtime. I would say that's an evenly balanced division, wouldn't you?
It's just you came in thinking that this is going to be a tough one.
Play 1 sudden death overtime period. First team to score wins. Each team will be allotted 2 timeouts instead of the normal 3. From Denver is Captain, who will call the toss. Number 51. We want tails. Heads, tails. Number 51's call is tails.
We know how important this is.
It is tails. They want football. Denver has won the toss and elected to receive.
Well, the Broncos get the first victory. That is the chance to move the ball first. They'll get the kickoff to start overtime here in San Diego.
One play at a time. Every guy, one play at a time. Do your job. That'll get us what we want. All right? Go. Chargers. Gonna win on 3. Let's go, baby. 1, 2, 3. Win! Kick off. Come on.
Boy, all a part of being a head coach. You have to be a bit of a cheerleader too. One play at a time, the reminder. Don't try to do too much on any given play. Gets you in trouble. Well, here are the records this year. Denver beat Kansas City 37-34 in overtime, and then, of course, lost last week to Indianapolis in the snow 23-20 at home. Both games at home. And San Diego's beaten Oakland at Oakland 27-21 in overtime, and beat San Francisco here a couple of weeks ago 2017. Christie with the kick. Reuben Drones, a young man from Oregon, slams across the 30 and out to the 34, and that's where Steve Berline and the Broncos will start here in overtime. 8 of 19 games decided on the first possession. That doesn't mean that the other 11 were won by the team that didn't win the toss. It just means that you can win it without the other team getting the ball.
But it sure does point the importance of winning the coin toss. It sure improves your chances of winning.
Oh, this crowd of 66,357 been treated to a classic. Portis for 3, maybe 3.5.
Denver back to showing that look of faking the reverse to Rod Smith and trying to bust one up the middle to Clinton Portis before anyone on San Diego reacts. Well, this veteran linebacking group of San Diego all over that thing.
152 yards for Clinton Portis, who is just a handful away from 1,000.
Two veterans in Edwards and Seau, and they're getting the most out of their rookie, Ben Lieber.
And Berline, who's been through this experience more than a few times himself in his 16 seasons, straightens and throws. Incomplete. Carswell was open at midfield.
Steve is so upset with himself. The hardest thing a right-handed quarterback has to do is roll to his left and then somehow plant and get his body squared back to throw the ball effectively downfield. Berline stops, and you can see he just throws it high and behind Dwayne Carswell, who was and could not have been any more wide open.
Yeah, he had another, if he caught it, another 15 yards to go. 1 for 10, Berline converting third downs today. Olandis Gary into the backfield, and they'll use one of their 2 overtime timeouts. Big play, as they all will be, coming up. Welcome back. It's the 3rd overtime game today, and there are the standings. Denver, San Diego. The winner will have first place at least for 24 hours. Oakland plays tomorrow night at home against the Jets, and Kansas City with a win today, 49-0 over Arizona, is back in the picture as well. Tennessee beat the Giants in overtime at Giants Stadium, and the Atlanta Falcons in overtime. Michael Vick with another sensational run to defeat the Vikings in overtime. Olandis Gary, a better receiver in the backfield. On 3rd and 8, Berline under pressure, and down he goes. He fumbled the ball, and they're saying he was already down. Good pressure from Leonardo Carson and Marcellus Wiley. 4th sack of the game for the Chargers.
Saw the loop inside, the stunt. Leonardo Carson loops from his 1 defensive tackle all the way around and comes in untouched. And then Marcellus Wiley closes in from the edge. What a series for San Diego.
So 3 and out, and San Diego will get its turn. Tim Dwight. Moore's kick with a flag down. Dwight circles under it, lets it go. And it'll roll inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. 49-yard punt by Micah Noor.
This flag was thrown by a linesman right at the line of scrimmage.
Offside. Denver, and another punishing 5-yard penalty. There have been a series of those today for the Broncos.
And I would think most certainly they'll make Denver punt again.
Offside. Offense, number 35, lined up beyond the ball. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 4th down.
Number 35 is Lenny Walls, a defensive back. 9th penalty for the Broncos, and instead of the ball being at the 24 with the Chargers in possession, they'll kick it again to Dwight.
Lenny Walls, a rookie, making a rookie mistake, lining up in the neutral zone when you're an offensive player on a punt.
And now those special teamers, after the one run, will have a little less in the bounce in their step coming down on Tim Dwight, who edges up to the 37, anticipating this kick. Big difference in the game penalties. Big. Two defenders on both the Gunners as Noor. This one much shorter. Dwight with a fair catch at the 41, a 17-yard difference. That's what that penalty of 5 yards cost the Broncos.
First and 10. The 41.
Let's go back to that Berline 3rd down pass.
This is the play where the ball ended up on the ground. Oh, that was a fumble. Tony Correnti comes in from the left of the screen and will signal right away that it was down. I guess Correnti's ruling was that Berline was in the grasp and control, and he has the option of blowing the whistle if he so chooses. We have to assume that he blew the whistle, calling it dead before the ball came out, but it did come out.
Chargers with great field position. They fake the wide receiver reverse and give it to Tomlinson, and he picks up about 10 before Trevor Price can drag him down.
Well, I wondered on Denver's series why Clinton Portis didn't have anything to do with handling the football. I see San Diego is going to make no doubt about the fact that LaDainian Tomlinson will have something to do in their offensive series in an attempt to win it.
172 yards against the best rushing defense in the league.
Oh, that's why they're giving it to him.
Plus 11 catches. He's well over 200. 51 yards in receiving to add to his rushing total. 2nd and 1. Tomlinson, 1st down and more. He could go all the way. Bouncing through tackles to the 25.
When you have the hammer, you use the hammer. What a job up there by Jason Ball, the center. Benoti, the right guard. Sammy Williams at right tackle. And I'll tell you what, if it's not for Izell Reese getting a good hit to slow him down a little bit, although he didn't wrap up, and you're right now the Denver Broncos are hanging on.
They're in position. San Diego now with a 1st down. If they gain not a yard, it's a 42-yard field goal to win. Veteran Steve Christie out of William & Mary did his early leg work for the Buffalo Bills, Super Bowl kicker. He has 8 career game-winning field goals in overtime. He's one away from the NFL record held by Jim Breach. He may get a chance to tie it. 1st down at the 25. Tomlinson loses a yard. Just 2 weeks ago on this field against the San Francisco 49ers, Jose Cortez missed for San Francisco to win from 40. Christie was true. And the Chargers celebrated a big win against the Niners.
Although today it has not been the best of days for Steve Christie, as he has pulled the ball left on 2 separate occasions. And that's got to be going through his mind. You wouldn't be human if that wasn't going through your mind. But I keep giving it to the hammer, just like that.
And then Tomlinson punches it down inside the 20-yard line. A gain of nearly 6. And Marty Schottenheimer isn't going to risk any possible fumble. 3rd and 4. Out comes Christie. By the way, Tomlinson, to get the team in position to win it, 203 yards rushing today. What a game. And now it falls on the veteran shoulders of Christie as he looks for his 9th game winner. It will be from the 27 or 28, so 38 yards to win. It's blocked and covered by Deltha O'Neal. Oh my!
Well, Steve Christie has already had 2 field goals blocked this year. That's his 3rd.
The others were longer, from 50 and 44. This one a 37-yard attempt, and it was smothered at the line of scrimmage. Was it a low kick? Let's look.
Very low. Almost hit the back of his own lineman in the back of the head.
Hard to tell whether it was Price or Dalton, the big defensive linemen who were up there. Big picket fence that got it.
An extremely low kick. Well, Denver, a reprieve.
So 3 missed field goals by Doug Christie in the game. And the Broncos, Steve Christie and his the heartbeat of the Broncos is still strong. As Burline stops and throws down the middle, Carswell, he hit him this time. That's the very same play that Burline overshot Carswell at the end of regulation.
Well, it's been all passing here in the overtime period for Denver, as they have kind of gone away from Clinton Portis. And as we saw Tomlinson factor in for San Diego, you got to wonder if sometime here the Broncos don't want to get Clinton Portis involved. He's got 152 yards on the day. I wouldn't shy away from letting him have a little fun here in OT.
You go to the hardware department, his name's in there too in that hammer section. First down at the 46. Fake to Portis. And Burline had to throw it away. McCaffrey was in the area. Marcellus Wiley came through cleanly on Burline. Overtime in San Diego. We go to New York and Jim Nantz.
All right, thank you, Dick. The 49ers withstand a furious rally today, and they win behind Garrison Hurst. 3 touchdown runs. Hasselbeck, in a losing cause, sets a franchise record 427 passing yards. 49ers the win there. Let's go back to Dick and Dan.
All right, Jim. Every game so competitive. Well, the one exciting, the Chiefs 49-0 against Arizona. But what a day of great games. 2nd and 10. Harrison comes on the blitz and just misses getting there, but he does foul the play as Burline had it muffed right out of his own hand.
And Denver has just completely abandoned the running game.
That is a surprise, isn't it?
Yes, that time Rodney Harrison gets inside Clinton Portis. It's Portis' job to block Harrison on the blitz, and he allows Harrison to put a good outside, then back to the inside move on him.
Well, you see how tough it is to get it over those big linemen. They're all up high, not much to throw through. 3rd and 10.
I'd rather have Clinton Portis running the ball than trying to block people.
Portis is in the backfield to start. And he goes into the pattern. The throw over the middle to McCaffrey. And the ever-reliable veteran from Stanford has a first down at the 38. Just in field goal yardage, 55 at this point.
Another slant pattern, a little deeper than the one that Burline and McCaffrey converted for the 4th down on that game-tying drive. And what a reassuring feeling it has to be for a quarterback on that slant to be looking at that big body of Ed McCaffrey going up into the air to protect the football. What a target.
Working on the rookie corner, Quentin Jammer. Portis now in a position maybe he'll get the handoff. He does. And picks up about 5. I'll make that more like 3. Donnie Edwards and Rayleigh Johnson with a tackle, and Jason Elam who has a long leg.
He's got a 54-yarder already today.
55 earlier in the year. In fact, he's 3 for 4 on the season beyond 50. So he's in range now.
The interesting part of those long field goals, they weren't in Denver. They weren't in the rare, a couple of them in Miami. That's he might be better in the long ones this year at sea level than he is in the mountains.
They show blitz and they stuff the run as Portis able to make only a yard. Marcellus Wiley with a tackle, and whereas Marty Schottenheimer went on 3rd down for the field goal from 38, with the Broncos farther away from those uprights. 35-yard line, a 52-yard attempt. Mike Shanahan wants more yardage before he sends his place kicker in.
Did you see Portis covering that football? He looked like he was playing fullback for Woody Hayes. One on the bottom, one on the top. He's going to take a jackhammer to pry it away from Clinton Portis.
3rd and 6. McCaffrey to the right. Rod Smith, a very quiet second half to the left. A pump and the throw for Smith, not close. Well covered, and Alex Molden has really played a solid game. Well, he's all but shut out Smith.
They were going for it all. They were going to put the double move on Molden.
Pressure on the quarterback.
Here comes Jason Elam. It'll be about a 51 or 52-yard attempt to win. His 54-yarder, if it makes any difference here, there's not much win, was going the other way.
And again, if he misses this, San Diego's going to have outstanding field position.
It's a 53-yard attempt. It's high enough. Is it long enough? No, it's wide to the left. And the Chargers will get another chance with 7:26 left.
And they'll get it. They'll get it with wonderful field position. You know, the old days, you missed a field goal, they put it at the 20, and then the NFL changed the rules. It goes to the spot of the kick. When a ball has been missed today, it's either been blocked or it's been pulled to the left, which for a right-footed kicker, the more you put into it, the more tendency it has to want to come to the left. Like trying to wish it in, but not to be.
Not enough body language for that one. Ugh. So the Chargers get it at the 43. So their 2 possessions have been great starts for them. Tomlinson already over 200 yards in the day, gets a couple on that carry into the arms of Kavika Pittman.
Well, fatigue, such a factor now for both clubs. Denver had to play an overtime game last week. Now here they are having to do it again this week. The emotional strain of playing such a big-time game, the fierce hitting, all those sprints you run in the offseason and training camp. This is where it pays off. Who did the extra work?
On 2nd and 9, Breeze with a shotgun, fires to the open receiver, and it's Rashae Caldwell, the rookie from Florida, and he has a first down into Denver territory.
And what a good job Caldwell did of running after the catch. Just a simple stop pattern. The Denver defense wanting everything to happen in front of it, but they didn't count on Caldwell making a couple people miss and picking up a lot of extra yardage.
11 yards for Caldwell. 3 catches today. 14 on the season.
I know one thing. If I'm San Diego, I'm thinking touchdown. I don't want to try another field goal.
I think you've got company in the 59-year-old Schottenheimer. And Tomlinson's 33rd carry of the game, plus 11 receptions, 44 touches for this young man from TCU. Jeez, what a player.
His jersey has the look of a guy who's put in a full day at the office, doesn't it?
I mean, he has 259 yards in offense today. The Chargers have had trouble mustering that against for a whole team effort. They didn't get that many against Miami last week as a team.
I'll say one thing. I think Tomlinson is going, I don't want to hear any more of that baloney about only getting 48 yards in the first game.
On 2nd and 7. Breeze fires to the sidelines. Alexander open and out of bounds at the 20. First down at the 20.
What a throw by Drew Brees. People wondering about his arm strength. Okay, it's not the best in the league, but folks, this is a deep out. And look at the way he delivers that football to Steven Alexander. It had velocity, it had accuracy, it had all you could ask for.
And Alexander motions with emphasis the first down. They don't go for the field goal here. They're going to try to get it ever closer. Tomlinson gets the handoff. 20 and down to the 16 before he's ridden down by Gold and Wilson. And as night falls, the Saturn light ship is 1,000 feet above the Qualcomm Stadium with these beautiful aerial shots. We hope you're enjoying the unique looks from above San Diego and scenic Southern California. Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego. 5 o'clock Western time. These two teams tied for first place with Oakland at 7-4 at the start today. The winner will own that top position in the AFC West. We're in overtime, time running out, and Tomlinson not running out of energy. Takes the ball again. Darts for maybe 2 more to the 14. And Schottenheimer is getting ready to send out that field goal team on third down. He normally would. And I guess he just can't get it close enough for Steve Christie.
I wouldn't do it either. I wouldn't do it either. I would go for it offensively. The Denver defense is tired. This is where everybody's tired, not just the Denver defense, but that's where you might get a missed tackle. Try to win it the old-fashioned way.
The risk, of course, would be a fumble or an interception. Tomlinson to a first down.
That's going to be really close.
I think he got it based on the mark.
I think he did too.
And they will measure either first down at the 11 or 4th and inches again.
Now we're looking at the flag that's on the far side of the field that told us it looked like he got it. The chains were on the near side of the field.
Meanwhile, the field goal unit's out there, and they don't have to kick it.
It is a first down. I would assume Christie's coming back. Yeah, that's right.
Of course, in overtime at Oakland earlier this year, this was LaDainian Tomlinson. They didn't go for the field goal of about 37, 38 yards, and Tomlinson scooted in 19 yards for the winner.
I know there's different schools of opinion as to what you do here. I'm from the old one that says you don't put it in a kicker's hands. You let the guys try to win the game that do it for a living. Kick it if you have to.
Tomlinson, 15. 10 and pushed it out of bounds by Ian Gold. There's the risk is, and a lot of coaches just feel that you get down that close, they don't want a possible big hit and a fumble or a misconnection.
Right. I think they'll try it one more time, Dick, and then Christie will come out on third down to protect themselves in case they have a bad snap or a bad hold, that they'll still get to try it again on fourth down if they don't get the kick away.
Clinton Portis with a brilliant game. Looks on as his counterpart LaDainian Tomlinson has racked up his best game in 2 seasons as an NFL rusher, over 200 yards on 37 carries, 220 yards.
Now the ball's on the left hash. You could have Breeze just take one step to his right and fall over.
He's going to spend a timeout, make sure that he does the right thing. So the call will be made at the sidelines. 3:04 left in overtime. For it now, 27 yards. Christie has won it for the Chargers. His 9-game winner to tie Jim Breach's NFL record in overtime. The San Diego Chargers have defeated the Denver Broncos 30-27, and they jump into first place in the AFC West.
I think back to what I said when Denver jumped out to a 10-0 lead, Dick. What did I say? I said we're going to learn an awful lot about the San Diego Chargers over the next 3 quarters. Well, over the next 3 quarters and overtime, they showed that they have an incredible resolve and one talented running back in LaDainian Tomlinson.
A team that had both starting tackles on the sidelines with injuries, did not have their top receiver Curtis Conway, had lost their starting quarterback Ryan McNeil, and somehow Marty Schottenheimer found all the right pieces and right emotion to lead his team to another dramatic win. 3 overtime victories for this Charger team this season. And for Denver, a rare back-to-back losses, and both in overtime. How tough is that to assimilate?
And that's 3 out of 4 of the losses in the last 4 games for the Denver Broncos. So it's back to work in the wild and woolly AFC West.
Oh, isn't it ever? And LaDainian Tomlinson, he's the top Cowboy today. Drew Brees led the way, but it was Tomlinson with 220 yards, rushing a career high and 3 touchdowns to lead his team. Stay tuned for the full lineup tonight on CBS. It's regular time, 7 o'clock on the West. For Bonnie Bernstein, Dan Deerdorf, this is Dick Enberg. So long from San Diego.